This 6 versus everything speedrun. We are on part 6 today. We have had a small delay in the speedrun. A short delay because I played in the German Bundesliga this weekend and I focused on that. But now we are back and we are ready. So everything stays the same. We continue our speedrun on our way to 3000. We're now at 2000. We even got some rating back because we got this message. So what else is new? 2012, and without further ado, let's go. Everything stays the same. We use 1d6, we use 1d3. We use lines from our chessable course, which you can see by using the chessable command. And let's go. d3, d5, knight to 3. We have seen all of this before. So okay, c5. Now we're gonna play the reversed King's Indian, and our opponent goes for the fianchetto. So one of the downsides of having a tempo up, if you can call it a downside, is now the lines with bishop f4, which we suggested, are no longer possible. Well, simply because the b2 pawn is hanging. The knight on f6 has not been played yet. So I'm gonna start with c3 first, and then when my opponent goes knight f6, which I think he will do, then I'm gonna go bishop f4, transposing to the lines in the course, and play knight e5. Okay, take. And now usually the bishop is put on e5, but I'm not 100% sure if that's still needed right now, because even if my opponent goes here, I'm probably gonna play bishop e3 to attack the pawn. Okay, here, and now I guess queen to a3 to hit the pawn. Bishop e3. Now the only way to defend it is by playing d4. And now when I play, for example, bishop to g5, I got a very, very beautiful square on c4 for my knight, which I'm gladly going to use. Maybe I was supposed to take on f6 first, but I didn't think this was a problem, because now how's my opponent going to defend this pawn? If it goes to b5, there's a fork, and I mean, otherwise I will take it, no? Let's take. If bishop f8, I'm gonna go queen a5. bc3, there is bishop d5 winning a piece. Okay, but now I guess I'll get rid of the weakness in c3 and also open the c file for my rook. Rook c8, but now I can go knight d6, no? No, knight d6, bishop f8. Okay, I'm again thinking for way too long. There is absolutely no reason for that. I can make normal moves. Okay, nothing in the chat. I hope everything's fine with the stream. Can I go knight b7? No, bishop f8 then. Okay, I'm just gonna play free so I can go rook c2 without knight b4. Knight b4 being a problem. Okay, there. Retreat the bishop. Now we want to go here. Time could be a factor, as it has been several times already in this speedrun, but this fork is going to help definitely with the conversion. Right, let's take the rook. This one's also hanging now. I guess it's the easiest to take. Takes there. Maybe it was not the easiest, but whatever. No, I can't go there. Okay, I'll part ways with the pawn. What to do? only have 24 seconds. I should really stop. Talking that much. This is a blunder, right? This comes with a check. This comes with a check, and then we go to convert this, being a full rook up. The pieces exchanges, as we know, always help. If you are material up, then it's easier to convert. Let's go here. H3 is not needed, but anything wins. 12 seconds should be enough. Okay, we'll call this a successful continuation of the speedrun. So the important things in this King's Indian, okay, now it's reversed, of course. Before we, like, if you follow the lines in the course, you are a tempo tempo down, but still, these positions, usually whenever the opponent allows you to trade off these knights and double the pawns, it's always beneficial for you. There is one line which is an exception where the opponent can play, but you can check all of that in the course. But usually these pawns are a weakness, and you can sooner or later attack them. Bishop e5 is also something which is definitely part of the plan here, but then I thought that after bishop h6, knight d7, e5, I didn't think that e5 was such a big problem. Yeah, the small problems, I won't even call them problems, that's probably all fine, but maybe the time was the only problem here. A bit of a problems I had with the conversion, but still, as long as we're winning out of the opening, we are good, and the repertoire holds on its own. I don't know what's the goal for today. Is it going to be... Okay, do we take the bishop or do we go for e4 for that other line we mentioned? Let's go for e4 this time. I don't know if we'll go all the way to like 2300 or just 2100, and that's it. I will see. Also depending on the viewers number and many other things, how tired I'll feel. So yeah, they continue taking this stuff on e4, which we have said many times opens up the bishop and is not too good. So now I think I can exploit this by going g4, which I usually wouldn't do, but now because of this knight e5 continuation, it has a lot of sense. Because now I'll be able to take with the knight, I guess, and then create big weaknesses around my opponent's king. So check, king b8, c3, king a8, queen b3. I mean, e4 is hanging, so I'm just gonna retreat and claim that I have a much safer king. And I'm not sure what's the downside. Of course, I'm gonna block this side of the board, not to get under a huge attack. This move I don't really get. I'm just gonna take the pawn. Hello to Fate, welcome. There should be a feature where they always give black. Yeah, there should, but I actually thought about suggesting that to chess.com for this particular speedrun, but it just said why not to prove it can work with one d3 as well. Let's finish the development. Knight sour, bishop out, and we're a pawn up, winning position. I'll definitely call the opening a huge success again. Let's go here. Queen d5, I'm gonna go bishop e4. As a 400-2500 average, I'd say you should keep playing to 2600. Okay. I mean, that's what I only mean for today. Like, the speedrun is going to end in 3000. Sooner or later. Let's continue getting our pieces developed with a tempo. That's always good. This is also always good when you can take a free queen. So this has been a huge success of 1 d3. By the way, I also played one d3 in the Bundesliga. I got a winning position but screwed up in the weekend. It's definitely playable. It's definitely, you get the fighting position. You can play for a win against anyone. With one d6 I was of course winning against Ciem Bartel, but I failed to see the tactics. And yeah, that's why we put the new command. Hello to David DM5. Hello, the ratings, okay, I mean, after the game finishes, then you see the rating, so it's here, but before I use, during the game, I use the focus mode not to care so much about that, and also to make the board bigger, because I think it's easier for you when the board is bigger, and, okay, I'm taking short breaks between games, so you can see the rating with no problem. Yeah, that sounds fair, don't worry. Chess.com focus mode, yeah, exactly. Hello to Smart Sky. One away from 150 wins. Yeah. Let's keep going. This was quick and efficient. You're welcome, David. Let's go for our beloved Philidor. I hope that now we're starting to... that we'll start getting the main lines finally. So now not knight d7 to allow knight g5, but bishop e7. As I have said. They can still transpose here. Knight g5 does not make too much sense now, because you simply get the extra material, and there is not too much the opponent gained from that. There is no real attack. I mean, f4 is going to be the idea. So if we go knight c6, d5, knight d4, then maybe f4, then bishop g4. I don't believe in that either. So I'm gonna go knight c6. I don't really believe in these moves. Like if he moves the knight, then I have knight e4, I think. And here, okay, c5 or now when I think about it, I probably was not supposed to do this. This bishop e3 is a good move, yeah. Okay, I was just supposed to play a normal setup with c6 or ed4 knight c6. This was not accurate, that's for sure. Oh well. I'm to go here then. I'm too greedy to give up a pawn, even though it might be best. I might have problems with the knight because of this move after, for example, some a4, knight b1, c3. But I hope that I'll be able to get this square for the knight in some time. Okay, knight e2 I will definitely take. Now I got rid of the knight, and I will also take the pawn on e4. I think my opponent forgot that this stuff is hanging. Yeah. When I play something with black, I often wonder how it would work with one extra tempo, or if white plays some nothing moves. I like the 1d3 games too. Yeah, that's the point. That's the whole point. So I also think there is it makes sense to do these 1d3 games. Okay, so it takes and giving quite a lot of counterplay, but what else? Knight f6 is a bit ugly, but maybe it's best. Bishop f6, then I take away the square for the knight. Don't like this move, but I'm gonna play it, because now my opponent will get a protected passed pawn. But at least I will not get under some pins or attacks, or something of this nature, which I really wanted to avoid. Okay, queen d2. But I might get flagged. That's always a problem. Like, at least it's an interesting philosophical exercise. Maybe one could start e4. Yeah, that wouldn't be fun for this. But, I mean, on the Rilton Cup in Sweden, I played... I blundered queen a5. Yeah, that was not ideal. Okay, let's just finish the development... Oh, finish the... Not development, but consolidation with b6, and now... Try to consolidate and slowly but surely try to push the pawn down the board and activate our two pieces. Yeah, I played in the Rilton Cup e4, e5, knight to 3, knight to 6, bishop e2. And yeah, the point was to just get the reverse Philidor, and I won the game very easily. I've said that also before, so it's you can do this setup in many different move orders. Now this gives me a chance to go here because this will be a tempo, and rook f7, bishop f7 is fine, but knight g3 I can include. Everything comes with a check, so yeah, this was very helpful. Okay, good start. Good start today. I feel like I'm playing on a better level than several days before. This part, of course, you can use the YouTube command. It will lead you directly to my YouTube channel, where the first 5 parts of the speedrun are already updated. This one will be there today when we finish it on Twitch. I will upload it there. Okay, now they are using our own setup against us. As we have said, against this we usually seize more space with c4, knight c3. And now we're just gonna develop like this. And we have said later on that we're going to play these positions with d4. When I tried once to play for something else and then it didn't work, then we just said we are going to play this with d4. And now we get full center, and the position is relatively passive. Okay. Now we should seize more space, that's for sure. How do we do that in the best possible way? c5 is interesting. eg take there. Then knight d4, that's a typical reaction for this structure. And this one, de, don't really like this, so yeah. I guess I'll play in the most boring way then, just pushing d5 and seizing more space, King's Indian style, and transfer the rook to c1. Transfer the rook to c1 and start playing on this side of the board where I have way more pieces and activity and space, and I don't believe there will be any kind of an attack here without the move f5. So let's go queen b3. I'll need to be a bit careful about this pawn. The threat is probably knight b5. Now it's not a threat because this is not protected, so I'm gonna go knight d2 first. It all protects here, and also the potential of going knight c4 exists later on. Okay, knight f4. This one I can take it, but I don't want to give up the bishop pair. This would still be better for white. But there is no real attack. Everything here is protected. All of the pieces are very far from my kings, so I'm not afraid of this. The knight looks nice, but where is it gonna go next? And now the potential of this knight can be seen while I'm bringing it on its way to b6, and I'll take the bishop pair. Without the light squared bishop, it will be... Am I blundering something? Okay, my opponent, I guess, wants to take the e4 pawn, but... Or what's the point? I can take with the queen, knight e4, queen c7. This looks tempting because it will be a tempo. Yeah, I don't believe we can have this. Queen c7, this is hanging, and bishop f4 and rook e4 is also a threat. So I think this is going to be extremely uncomfortable for my opponent. Okay, this is a possibility, but you see that it has not solved the main problem of the pin. Oh, I played it. Okay, I was thinking about one move order and I played the other one. So I was supposed to take and then take on f4, then it's a clean piece. But the way I played, I just played the wrong order, and I allowed my opponent to not lose a piece. The good thing is I'm still winning, because the position was so good that even after I allowed my opponent to keep a full piece, I'm still winning. But yeah, this was not what the doctor ordered. I apologize for the viewers for such blunders, but I guess I still have not woken up today. We have a bit earlier stream than usually. Sorry about that. Okay, now this bishop is going to stay passive forever, and we can cause more damage on the other side of the board. G5. This one I'm just gonna take. This one does not work, fortunately. Okay, now of course everything wins, but let's go here. Bishop G6. I'm gonna take this one. It feels like the strongest, and we get the job done in a sloppy way, very sloppy way, but we get the job done. It's fine if you're still convert, success is never blamed. Yeah, that's the thing, like, everyone values the wins and the success, and it doesn't matter what actually happened on the board or on the court or wherever the sport match has been played. It's always about who wins, who loses, never about how somebody actually plays. Okay. Did they update the win counter? Not sure. Very often they were giving up this pawn, and I was always glad at taking it and winning games, so I'm just gonna continue with that. Okay, I'm gonna play the same setup with the double fianchetto I wanted to say, but now when my opponent castled here, I'm just gonna attack with everything I have. I'll just throw everything at the opponent's king. Am I worried about some h5? I don't think so. Now I guess I should take more space with d5 and e5 followed by bishop f5. This looks extremely bad, honestly, for my opponent. Bishop f5 is gonna come, and then where's the queen gonna go? Like, where's the queen gonna go? My opponent, I guess, realized that and decided to part ways with a piece instead of the queen, but I think we can call the opening a huge success again. Let's just exchange one more piece. What do I take? The bishop or the knight? I'll take the bishop because I think I have knight h5, and then I'm gonna take here or go knight g3. Queen d2 is a bit annoying, but there's also bishop e5, bishop f4 if the worst comes to worst. There is also knight g3, which I mentioned, also very good. Yeah, actually I'll keep it simple. If queen takes, then I'm gonna go here. If pawn takes, I mean, I wanted bishop f5. Yeah, I'll go bishop f5. I don't see the defense against rook c8, except bishop d3, and bishop d3 would trade off more pieces. I should have gone queen g5 first, but doesn't matter. Now it's all easy. I have more queens, so that's good. It doesn't matter what I take, but I'm gonna take the rook followed by queen g2 or queen d2, which I didn't see at first, but everything is of course winning. So yeah, we will call this a big success still. I don't know, I guess around 23-2400 they will start playing mainline stuff, because now they're still giving up pawns and playing harmless sidelines or something, which is immediately better for me. But okay. Okay, once again, guys, for those of you who are new, you can use the chessable command, which will lead you to my new chessable course, co-authored by GM Polygrass. The lines used in this speedrun are from that course, and the introductory offer is going to stop in a day or two. So this is your last chance to get this course with a big discount. I definitely suggest that you do that. Like, my opponent allowed everything. He gave me a tempo and put the pieces on weird squares. How do I exploit that? Knight b4, bishop g4. Like, bishop g4, h3, bishop h5 is tempting, but I don't think it works. Okay, then I'm just gonna continue with the normal plan of h6, bishop e6 to not allow this, and then go knight h5, knight f4. I cannot exploit this immediately, but I can just claim a slightly better position. So that's what I'm gonna do. F3. Let's go here. Knight d5 I can just take. g3, if I manage to provoke that, I'm very happy. Then I get ideas with bishop g4 and the king becomes a bit weak. And like this, I guess we just go here. And if my opponent takes an f4, my bishop opens up. And if he doesn't, my knight stays strong on f4. Let's go knight e5, block. I think my opponent was supposed to go e5, no matter if it's good or not. Now I get in a very nice blockade. Nothing is going to ever get rid of this bishop. Hello to Fando22. My last name is pronounced Levaich with CH in the end. So this, I think, gives me a very nice opportunity tactically to deflect the queen with f3, and then if queen takes, I'll get the bishop, and if pawn takes, then I get queen to g5. Check here, it will be checkmate in 1, and if he goes to h1, then I can go queen f4, threaten queen h2, which I'm really not sure how my opponent will defend. So if he goes queen to d3, for example, then I can go queen g5 still, threatening checkmate. Queen f3 has not changed anything. g3 or g4 I'm just gonna take with no matter which bishop, and then the king is going to get exterminated, as we have said several times before in the speedrun. I guess the simplest way is just to take and go queen to f4, trade off this or threaten queen h2, and when it gets traded off, the rest should be relatively easy because we have a bishop and they don't. Let's go rook e2 here. Now I'm just gonna double on the second rank if possible. Go here. If here, I think I'm gonna go bishop b3 now, because after takes there is this nice checkmate, and otherwise, yeah. Otherwise, I will get the f2 pawn. So another big success. So this is a very passive approach. With, if they want to go this knight c3, they can go bishop d3 now and some castles, maybe e4. But again, why didn't they play e4 on move 2 if that was the case? Like, if they want to go for such systems with knight c3, they can go e4 very quickly. Okay, good start. Let's continue. Thus far, there have not been real problems except with the clock. Hello to Sigma99, good morning. Okay, bishop there. Now we're just gonna play the reversed Philidor. b4. Considering my opponent has not played a5, we can definitely do this. And now finish the development, bishop b2, bishop e2. I was probably supposed to go knight g5, but I'm not sure. Not sure if it brings me all that much, because my opponent can just move the bishop. But now it surely brings me much, because I will get either the bishop, or had he gone back, then I would take here and go on queen b3, exploiting this diagonal quite nicely. Now I guess I will get rid of the bishop. And then I need to open up the position in a good way. And what is the good way? Maybe I don't have to touch anything just yet. Like, I'm not that afraid of this. The more my opponent opens up the position, the better my light squared bishop will feel. So yeah. I guess my opponent just wants to flag me, which is a legitimate strategy in online chess. But knight f4. Yeah, that's why my original idea was to go here, to not allow knight f4 for a start. My opponent should go some knight e7 now, but then I'm gonna go knight e4, I guess. Why does this work, actually? I wish he tells me why this works. Like takes, I'll take probably with the queen. Even with the bishop is fine. As queen e5, there is always g3. Not too big of a problem. My opponent wants some tactics now, but bishop d5, bishop h2 takes, rook d5. I can go queen e2 now, and this stuff will be defended. So won't this leave me with a piece up? Or am I hallucinating? My opponent may be counting on this and rook h5, but I think that after knight g3, there's also f3, which probably works as well, but knight g3 attacks the rook and covers h1, so yeah, I think this is a clean piece. f3 also works after rook h5, rook h1, king there, queen h4, just knight g3 or something. It also works, no problem whatsoever. Ah, there is knight f3 after c4. Okay. Like, there is absolutely no need for any kind of calculation or nonsense. We're a piece up. Just defend the king and win the game positionally. What was after knight c3? Which moment, Sigma? I don't know which moment. Hello to General Thunderstorm. Welcome to the stream. And hello to the Extreme Troll LPS4 or PS4. Okay, let's go here. Yeah, now I allowed rook h5 maybe in a better way for my opponent, which was absolutely not needed. Okay, still. I have not played this in an accurate way, and I might lose in time because I'm talking to the chat too much. Okay, that didn't work. Okay. I'm gonna have to stop talking to the chat at some point during the games. At some point I'm gonna have to stop, because they'll just get flagged and start losing them games. Yeah, I might lose this one as well. What, I really have no defense against this? Yeah, I have to have a defense, no? But I'll lose this game on time, so it's not gonna end too well. After some move, there will be probably no defense after rook h3. But yeah, this was very, very strong play by my opponent after the opening, so yeah. I'm gonna have to stop talking at some point and just focus, because okay, people who are streaming very often, they can stream with no problems and talk, but I cannot, and I always get into huge time trouble. And yeah, this is just gonna hurt me. Oh, now I even had a chance. But yeah, this was very strong play. I lost with a piece up, but yeah, I was of course winning out to the opening. But this was very strong play from my opponent here. Okay, I of course should play anything except allowing knight f4, but yeah, this is just... I didn't see the continuation after this. Because bishop f4, queen f4, there's rook d4, queen f5, rook q1. Okay. This stuff is gonna happen, we don't care about the result here, but it's going to prolong the speedrun, that's for sure. But if you're winning out of the opening, then d6 has completed its test. That's why we have... It's not the problem with d3 or d6, it's problem with me. Yeah, I can take g3, but it didn't calculate it correctly. You're right, of course. Okay, but now I'm just gonna stop coming into time trouble because it's too annoying. It's just too annoying and pointless to lose. It's just quite pointless to lose such games when you're a piece up. No matter the speedrun or not, no matter you care about the results or not. Why would you lose such games? Okay, let's go. Where do we go? Maybe my last move was not the most precise. Not sure then. Let's go bishop c5 back to get rid of the spin. Queen e7, develop in this fashion. So now I'm just gonna go a5, the typical Philidor stuff. If they never play a4, then you can seize really a lot of space. Really a lot of space like this. Let's just go h6. I just want to go rook e8 and defend this pawn without ever worrying about knight g5. Time trouble is definitely the main... Yeah, of course it's the main reason. Like, I really don't care about wins or losses. Now I'm just gonna exploit this because e4 is hanging. I really don't care, but okay, this is gonna help get the rating back. Oh, hello to Sasha Dav, the Romanian prodigy, here on Twitch for a last dance. That's right. The account was originally created by my co-author of the course, GM Parligras, who you've played and defeated in the Romanian Championship, Sasha Dav. So that's why the Romanian flag exists and not Croatian. I'm still Croatian, by the way. That has not changed. So c6 is hanging. Everything is good, but let's just not think. Thinking is the cause of me losing these games, not the position. The only time I actually lost positional-wise during the speedrun, I got the rating back because my opponent cheated. Or at least Chess.com said so. Let's exchange stuff. We have more rooks, so we win the game. Yeah. He defeated himself. Yeah, he did blunder a piece in one move, but I mean, it's his fault. It's his own fault. He did not play 1d6, so what can you expect? If you don't play 1d6, you lose. So yeah, as we said, as long as they keep taking on e5, I'm always happy, and taking on e4 when I'm white, because our bishop simply opens up, and yeah, it's all good. I didn't update the win counter, right? I think this is the win counter now. Alright, let's keep on going. As long as they're giving up this pawn, I will gladly keep taking it. This is not a bullet game. It looks like one, but it's not, and now I'm just a whole pawn up with a great position. Let's go c6 first, I guess. I don't want him to play d5 and seize more space. Yeah, knight c6 was maybe better, but who is to know? This will allow me to get bishop g4 with a tempo, because Now I want to... Really? I'm not complaining, that's for sure. Now, with the destroyed pawn structure, and without the bishop on c8, which would be passive, I think my advantage has improved. At least a little bit. There is no real attack, everything here is very solid, the open g file does not matter all that much. So yeah. Now I'm just gonna reroute the knight to h5 and try to secure the f4 square with my pieces. With some queen somewhere, bishop h6 if allowed. I told him before the game that they released the course one day before to give me more work to do before the game. Yeah. But he did not play this as much as me. I keep playing it in the Bundesliga and strong events anywhere, but he doesn't really play it all that much. I'm gonna go here and bishop g5 to either gain control over this square or to provoke f4. When I'm gonna go bishop h6, this bishop will be blocked and will get in queen f6 and take this in a move or two. So that's the point of the strategy. Now, can I again do this and bishop f4? I actually prefer this one, yeah. Can also take and go queen h4, but why to bring the rook here? Like, no need. My king is completely safe, and I can just continue with this plan. Now go queen h4, or f6, which is an additional threat now when the bishop is here. So, things are looking very, very good here. It worked, he chickened out, yeah. Okay, f6, I guess bishop g6 is now the idea, but I can go queen h4, I can take on f4 immediately. Yeah, just be primitive. Now being 2 pawns up, and this is not best, but it's quite practical. I'm sure it's not best. The engine will make c6 work somehow, or f6 work somehow. Okay, so do we want to take the rook or not? I'm gonna start with queen g5 check. He played it twice and might be 2 times more than he should. Let's take this and now take this one. I'll leave the queen here, then go rook e8 and then open up the whole position. Being an exchange and 2 pawns up with 0 counterplay, I'm expecting this to be a win. But who knows what's gonna happen. We have seen many things happen during this speedrun, so nothing can surprise me anymore, honestly. I think I'm gonna go f6 actually, because after rook takes, I'm just gonna go king f7 and immediately open the e-file, even at the cost of the pawn. But look at the king. Now when my rook comes into play, there is immediately queen e3 with not checkmate, but almost checkmate. So yeah, I mean, the lines in the course don't mention this because it's just a clean pawn up for black. I don't know, like at this level, the opponents are like 20,000, 2050 or something. I thought at this level they will start playing the main line, but not yet, I guess. Seems you gotta add this as a trainable due to its proper popularity. Yeah, Fate, that's a good one. I might do that. A 5, really. So now I can go d4. I can go e5 and then d4. I mean, I always like to play for big advantage, so why wouldn't I just block and go d4? Take with the f-pawn. This is protected. The center is extremely strong, and it's going to be very difficult for black to develop his pieces, so... I mean, okay, I get that you got 2 pawns, but that's a piece. I'll go bishop f4 not to allow not to allow e5. Now I'm gonna go here in order to exchange some pieces later on in the game. Include bishop c4 because it's a tempo. Knight g5, it's playable, but let's just go knight bd2 and finish our development. Take. Knight e3 is a slight nuisance, but actually I'm just gonna go here. You might see that I'm trying to play a bit faster just to avoid these time troubles. The only reason I've been losing games is time troubles. And it's not the problem that I'm losing games. The problem is that then if I lose a lot of games, the speedrun is going to last forever because my rating will keep going down. Why didn't I go knight d6? Could have played knight d6. That's the downside of playing too fast. Sometimes you don't see tactics. Am I playing the European? I'll know today. I don't know, but I'll know today. Hello to Jovan M2010. What's the rating right now? I don't know exactly. We have the focus mode on so that it's easier for the viewers. For the viewers to focus on if the board is big. But as soon as the game finishes, the ratings show up, and then you'll be able to see the rating. It's like 2060 or something like that. Is there some direct way to... My knight is a bit stupid now. Okay, let's give a check first. I guess just go king up or something. King up and reroute the knight somewhere. But I should have played this in a better way. I could have played knight d6 earlier and win the game. Hello to my name is Legion. This is 200 rating? Nah, I mean, I don't know. They're not playing too well still. They're not playing the main lines. I'm getting winning positions out of the opening, so yeah. Imagine having to play 1d6 for a 1k game. I will gladly do that. Let's go knight d2. I got myself into a passive position, so I'll actually keep both rooks on the board. Simply because they're more active than my opponent's rooks, so I think it makes a lot of sense to keep them. Let's go here now. King g7, then I'm gonna go here. The threat is here and take the pawn, as far as I can see. So my opponent defends this. I mean, my knight is still dumb, but I guess I can start taking stuff now. Why is this any good? King f4, e3. Knight f3. No, I don't believe this. I can even go knight e... No, knight e4 is dumb. Knight f3 I should play. Okay, but check allows me... Wait, did I just blunder the game? No, I didn't. I have rook g1, but there was really no need for any of this. Okay, that's the downside of playing too quickly. I'm just blundering stuff. Oh, why did I... Yeah, okay, never mind. I had also something better, but this should be as well fine. I can't believe how badly I've started playing, but what to do? It's important to cut off the king in the end game, and then with my opponent's king cut off, it's way easier. Then I can get the Lucena position quite easily. Let's go here. King b8, no more checks. This is the most efficient way to win this endgame. Like, I can't believe how messy that became after I was after I was a piece up in the opening, but yeah. I mean, considering I have not played on chester.com in a year, after I closed my account in March 2024, yeah, I need to get used again. I just forgot how to play online. Since when are you rated above 1100 elo? Since recently. Yeah, you can use the YouTube command to see all the parts of the speedrun, by the way. It's because the course, if even this pleb can get to 1500, anyone can do it, 1d6. Yeah, Lucena position. No, of course I didn't get banned for cheating. I never cheated in my life, and I'm fighting against it ever since I was 15 and caught the first cheater in my life. I just closed my account. Oh, I clicked on something. Okay. I just closed my account because it was bringing way too much negative emotions to me to play Title Tuesdays and competitive online chess. That's why I closed it. You can also see it clearly. Yeah, the bridge. You can also call it the bridge. Yeah, I appreciate that, Legion. This part is also... You can use the YouTube command. This part will be on YouTube quite soon. I mean, as soon as I don't know how long it will take, actually. Maybe to 2200, this part. So we will follow up with our double fianchetto setup. I don't know, if they give up this bishop, then I'm always very happy. Like, why would they give up a bishop pair so quickly? Now we can just go e3, queen e2, e4 later on. Enjoy a comfortable position with the two bishops. The advantage is not too big, but it exists, and it's quite nice, I think. Let's go e4. D, okay. This is very similar, actually, the structure to the position I had in the Bundesliga. On weekend. How do I continue? Knight h4 makes a lot of sense. Bishop h3 I like as well to activate the bishop. Several tempting options. Okay, knight d2, knight c4, I guess cannot be bad. My opponent probably should play b5 to stop it. But then I can reroute the knight to e3 and then maybe f5 later on. Bishop c5, I'm not sure about. Yeah, it's probably still fine. But I'm gonna go a4 to stop b5 now and then secure the outpost for the knight. I think that's going to be very... very promising. I mean, bishop f5 looks primitive, but I want to take and get the e5 pawn. How is my opponent actually defending this? I want to know. Yeah, the e4 pawn blunder, that's something that has not changed. Okay, my opponent defended the threat, but now I get the file, and if I get in queen d3, I will get the d file, which is going to be very, very useful. But I'll include a5 first, not to ever worry about b5 any longer, and also to fix the weakness on b7. For example, if everything disappears, the heavy pieces, this is going to be very hard for my opponent to face. Now, considering my opponent blocked the defense of it, I will take the e5 pawn. I guess people just play crazy like that. I guess they play way too much for the time and too little for the position. By the way, the queen is trapped, so that's why I guess my opponent is thinking. Okay, take. Let's take this one as well. There is not even a way to exploit the pin, so I cannot believe how often people are still hanging e4. Yeah, They don't necessarily learn it at 1200. I mean, what can I say? Okay. But this shows quite nicely how you can build on the 2-bishop position. I mean, similar to my Bundesliga game from 2 days ago. It's just you can build these positions, having the 2 bishops, very, very nicely. Just 1 second. Okay, let's keep going. Do we finally get some mainline fillers? No, we don't. We still get D, and we still get a great position out of the opening. This has not been that thoroughly analyzed in the course because it's just not that good. But yeah, let's stop knight T5. That would be the only possible problem. H6, bishop H4, G5, and take on E4. I was always a very, very aggressive and ambitious player, so I was never backing down from taking the advantage or going for big advantage in the opening. So I'm gonna do that now as well. Knight E5, there is knight G3, I think. If bishop E5, now I need to think a bit. I can of course take the bishop pair, queen D8, knight E5, but then F7 will be weak. There is knight D6, I'm still better. But if G4 works, I'll win the game. So G4. What is my opponent going to play against this? Queen D3, I guess the only move, as far as I can see. No, I don't see it. But maybe I'm blundering something. Queen D4? Okay, Queen D4, but I think I can do the same thing against this as I planned before. So I take here. My opponent takes here, threatening checkmate. Now I have to eliminate the bishop. And now when my opponent takes, I just take this one. And as far as I can see, there is no more attack because I managed to eat all of my opponent's pieces. E4 is not a good move. We refuted that, right, Sasha Dev? Okay, here I guess some tactical calculation was required. But when you calculate tactics, had I done this against Bartel in the Bundesliga, I would have won the game, but I didn't. That's where I missed tactics. Now we can take. So queen g6 is not a problem because it doesn't exist anymore. The rook is hanging. And queen g3, there is queen g5. King h8 also works, by the way. There's not enough pieces simply to continue the attack. And I have an extra piece. So I will definitely say mission accomplished. I will definitely say mission accomplished. And 1d6 again got us a winning position. Now where to put the bishop? Let's go to d6. I just put it here. On c7 it's quite safe. It also controls the g3 square, so no rooks will ever come there. Here I guess bishop f5 should be played. Queen g. This may be the point of my opponent, but there is at least one good way to fight it, probably more. Let's go here, threaten checkmate, g3, I'm gonna go here. I can also take, but okay, h3, now I'm gonna go here, not to think about my opponent's queen at all. I could have taken as well, it's all winning, but this is the most practical because I get rid of the material. And without material on the board, it's always easier to convert such things. Let's go here, attack the rook. I guess just king g7, no need for and just solidify. I should have played rook e8. It was a bit more precise, surely, than what I did, but still fine. Completely winning. What do I want to do? Maybe no, not bishop e4. Nah, let's just get rid of the material before I get flagged. Let's get rid of one more piece and the last piece. And if you have a pawn endgame but you have something more than pawns, you're winning. Now I'm gonna exploit the tactics as well, and it should be relatively easy. All right. Okay, what's up in the chat? Nothing new. People are just enjoying the d6. By the way, do we still have that sound problem in the chat, in the stream? I don't think we do, right? People were saying in the YouTube video still that there was bad sound, that there was something off, but I hope it was fixed, or at least there were no complaints now in the live stream. Okay, so h3 and bishop d3. This sideline is playable. 92. It's a weird move. Now I probably should play d5 immediately, and after take with the knight, because my opponent is simply neglecting development. So if this, then I go e4 at fork, and here I guess I can take like this, and I immediately got a foothold in the center, and my pieces will become quite active. But I'll castle first. Also, the knight g3 plan, which my opponent intended, is now not even possible anymore. So I'll definitely call the opening a success. Whether I will cash in on that opening success or not is to be seen. So now I think I can go here to attack the bishop, and when the bishop is gone, then I can destroy the pawn structure of my opponent. If takes, then I take here, and both bishops are under attack. If bishop takes, still this and the bishop and the knight are under attack, so I think knight e6 is quite good. Hello to Geld Magier. Welcome to the stream. What happened with your nose? Just an acne. Or some damage due to coldness. I don't know. Like, it doesn't hurt. It's fine. So let's destroy the structure now. Enjoying this deprivation? Yeah. It seems okay. Good. Rudolph and his reindeers. The closest we've had to a real system today. Yeah. I'm 24 years old. That's right. Now I'm gonna go f6, which looks a bit ugly because it weakens a lot of squares, but I will get a lot of piece activity. And also, I guess I will be able to count... Let's go here. So if I go... Okay, I'll just finish the development. First, bring all the pieces. First, okay, this one is hanging. I'm too greedy to even think about this. I'm not a pawn up, but this structure allows me to have a better center, and the better center control, and the better structure. So I'm definitely better, but still, we need to work quite a bit in order to win this game. Let's go here. Hit the queen. Knight e4, I still cannot go after queen d2 because of the pin, but it was not my idea. My idea is to just trade the rooks, actually. Really. I will improve my center control with the b pawn. Could have taken with the queen as well. Now this pawn is going to be weak in the future because my opponent gave up the dark squared bishop. So that's what I'm counting on in the upcoming moves. But okay, let's trade off the rooks first. I think that's more than fine. Here, let's go bishop f7 to solidify. Allowing some queen a6 and bishop a4, but hopefully it's not a big problem. I have to defend back, but still, this knight cannot go anywhere. My bishop is nicely, what's the word? I always forget that word. Restricting it. Now I guess what I talked about before about this pawn is going to become visible. That this is quite weak now. h5, h4 is also an idea, but I can just improve the position first. Let's go c4. Now I just want to start pushing these pawns down the board. Let's go here to stop knight g4. I need to speed up. Let's go here now. Take. And now this is just a pin forever, basically, and I can start pushing the pawns. My opponent will never be able to get rid of the pin. I can just push. h5 I don't care, d3 I'll play. And I can trade off whenever I want. King h3 there is always bishop e6, so yeah. No, well, okay, I blundered like everything. Okay, never mind. I completely hallucinated with this stuff. Fortunately, my opponent now is left with a fork to deal with. I completely hallucinated. I'll tell you what I talked about and why it was wrong as soon as I finish this game. So yeah, what I thought about was like here that it's a pin, but I was supposed to play but I completely forgot that now I don't have the pin anymore, and my opponent could have played knight f5 as well, takes, but still then I would go d3 or bishop f5, which, like, the advantage is still on my side, but I thought that I'm winning immediately because of the pin. And I should have probably played, instead of d4, king f8 first, or king somewhere, king h8 maybe. Very curious about this moment. Yeah, king f8, king h8, or bishop e8, something. I don't know why bishop e8. And then there is no more king h3 because I will be able to take this stuff. So yeah, but okay. Still, I think it was a nice way, nice outplaying the opponent. No matter what. Okay, nothing new in the chat. We're 2100 now. So this part of the speedrun. I need to put the laptop to charge. This part of the speedrun is finished. 2000 to 2100. So I need feedback from the chat. Do we continue or not? Do we continue or not to 2200 right now? I mean, it says that we have 41 viewers, so I guess I guess that's quite a lot, and we should continue. But still, I'd like some support. Okay, David DM says yes. Anyone else? Yes, go ahead. Hello, Maz. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for letting me know. And learning chess 6. Okay, we'll continue. Welcome also to the stream. So this is a slightly odd version of this filter, but yeah. If they castle, I would continue with, or a4, for example. I would still castle, then take ed4, followed by knight c5, same as you'll see in the main line when we get to stronger opposition. Jerome QC, okay, welcome to the stream. I will continue now, but I just want to say, so usually the general principle when they lose time in the opening like this, then you need to strike somewhere, and then yeah, d5 was quite a strong. Oh. I was supposed to take this one. I just thought that was a bit too dry. Surprisingly enough, the engine likes white here. After c4, I was completely convinced that I have a great position here. cd, and now. So just play against the isolated pawn. Doesn't matter the strong attack or the two bishops. Knight f4, and if bishop e6, so probably this is the whole point. This knight d4. Okay, you live and learn. This one was, yeah, indeed. This is seen several times in the course. I thought it's just a bit dry, but okay, with the bishop pair, it should be better than what I played. Okay, mostly made up. Welcome to the stream. We will continue. Let's continue immediately. Go back to focus modes. Try to 2200 or 2300. Continue with d3. I'll play knight bd2. And they still keep taking this stuff on e4, opening up my bishop. As long as that's happening... Okay, knight g4 is a threat, so for example e5, knight g4 would not be ideal, but I'm just gonna finish the development and then go e5, queen e2, and so on. After knight c6 I will not be able to do that, because then there is a double attack. Or can I do that? e5? No, not wait for this. If they want, I'll allow them to play e5. And now I just have an amazing version of the Philidor reversed with two tempi up. First of all, I'm white, and second, my opponent played e6 and e5. So yeah, the position is everything I could dream of out of the opening. Now we're just gonna seize more space in the Philidor way. The pin is slightly annoying, that's why the bishop is usually preferred here. But I don't think it's too big of a problem. Now we're gonna go b5, kick the knight. When the knight retreats all the way back, then I think I can take. So that's why my opponent takes here first. But this just gives me the bishop pair, and not only that, but I will also get in knight b6 and bishop a3, not allowing my opponent to castle. Is there something better? Bishop a3 immediately, there's bishop c5, so I will stick to my original idea. For example, queen here, immediately queen g3 is a huge problem with a double attack, as castles is not possible anymore. So queen e6 is a bit better. How do I continue? Like, bishop b1 is tempting, honestly, to activate this bishop immediately as well. I mean, why not? It looks weird, but it's quite concrete. Okay, queen g4. Of course, I don't want to trade the queens. My opponent's king is in the center, and it will come under attack. It cannot castle, so I will definitely never trade the queens here. Queen e6 back, but now we get this very nice sniping position for our bishops, and also b6 will fall next move. So I will again call this a huge opening success with one d3. Am I blundering something? No, my opponent simply did not have anything better. So let's take. Queen c5 is the next threat of mine, trying to go queen e7 checkmate. Queen d6 as well. Same idea. Again, for those of you who are new, use the chessable command, which will lead you, okay, what's with this? Which will lead you to my new chessable course, co-authored by GM Perligras. And there you can see the lines used in this speedrun and learn from it. Hello to Long time no see, indeed. Yeah, but now I'm back. Not full-time, but part-time at least. I'm not a content creator. Okay, I'm obviously creating content now, but it's not what I do for a living. Yeah, this was very quick and efficient. Let's keep going. Now at 2100s, I'm really expecting to see some mainline stuff, but who knows. E4. Yeah, if they go for f5, then you should usually just take this, and now get an amazing version of the King's Gambit. Just how exactly do I do this? D4 is surely good, but then E4. I mean, I guess I should just defend this in the King's Gambit style. Just follow up with Bishop G7. Now it's like playing the main line of the King's Gambit, but with a tempo up. So maybe knight e5 was working, but I think if I just develop my pieces, it's completely fine. Now maybe I want to go here and T4 finally. First, let's bring the king to safety. Safety is a relative term in the King's Gambit, but... Okay, time to take. At least I will eliminate some of the opponent's pieces, which will lower my opponent's attacking potential as well. So it's good. Okay. Knight G4 I will take with the pawn. Take here, I mean there is knight E5. Also interesting, but I don't want to allow this bishop to get a point. So they go all in. There is knight E4. What's the best way to do this? Is H5 a problem? No, I don't know. Let's finish the development first with bishop G5, knight C3. Can take on D5 as well, but let's just go rook E1. I wasn't sure about king H8. Takes, I mean, like my king is still relatively unsafe. Now I think I'll do that. While my king is still unsafe, now it's not a piece, now it's a full rook. So I don't believe in it for my opponent. I guess just go here. His king is also weak, so something, or more namely the queen, has to cover d8 square, which helps a lot. So it cannot go to some attack because checkmate will come first. I didn't develop my pieces, but I won pieces in return, so I guess that's a fair trade. Hello to Anjash. Welcome, welcome. Now I guess it's time to go here and not care about anything. Bishop f8 will of course hang the rook. And yeah. This was quick and efficient one more time. Yeah, you cannot just play these sharp openings like the King's Gambit with tempo down. That just doesn't work. The reverse systems are very often dangerous, and of course that's why people often play them with one knight f3. However, with one d3 it can be as deadly as with knight f3. Yeah, easy. Okay, I'll still allow d5. I can go for c4, which I will go next move if castles, or if this, or actually c3 is also like c3 to play. My opponent feels like he wasted some time with this a6 bishop c5, so I mean, I'll try to play it in an Italian style, but not sure if this is best. My knight is down, so... Okay, I'm gonna go here. If takes, I guess t5. Bishop takes, pawn takes, and then when my opponent moves the knight, there is the old queen a4 trick. This is seen in some of the main lines in the Ruy Lopez, so yeah, I think this will win me a piece, unless I'm blundering something, which could happen, definitely. Yeah. So bishop e3 was just a developing move, and tactically knight e4 was not working, so I played it. You'd only feel threatened if opponent met g4 with h5. Yeah, or with g6. Or with g6. True, but still, being a tempo up, I'm like even a tempo down, you're better with black in the King's Gambit. And here with a tempo up, should be even easier. What's the best continuation? I mean, my lack of development makes it a bit harder, so let's just solidify first. So bishop c4, my opponent's not worried about it at all. Probably rightly so, because there is just c6 and they cannot exploit it. So I'm just gonna finish my development as planned. Yeah, that was so open. Yeah, true, Andrzej. Hello to Rishik Sairam. Welcome to the stream. Okay. Let's go bishop c4 now and then e4. Or rook e1 first. Maybe rook e1 first. e4 is not gonna escape and my opponent can do it himself, but then he gives up a big square for the knight. This I'll just retreat the bishop. Is it time for e4 or c4 to stop my opponent from going c4? c4, there is knight b4. However, it's take e4. How about that? I kind of like this. I don't know why I like it. I'm blundering tactics. That's because I'm playing quickly. Okay, now I'm gonna go here. Bishop takes, rook takes. Should be very good because after queen d5 I will take more than one rook. This one I did see. I had to redeem for the tactic I didn't see. Like bishop c4 and I give up the exchange for no reason. So messed up again, but the opening of course was a success and we can use this command which will explain us everything. The problem is not in our d6 or d3, but in ourselves. They're also from like 2021 when I used to stream a bit more. There are also commands with like Leon quotes 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1, 2, 3, and 4. No, or 1, 2, 3. I don't know. So you can use those. Okay. So if my opponent doesn't take away my castling rights, I will gladly keep them and play with bishop b4. Now I can destroy the structure and then enjoy a great position, or I can take immediately and enjoy the bishop pair. But after knight e2, I want to destroy my opponent's structure, honestly. His structure is way weaker than mine, and I also have a better bishop, which will... c6 I anyway wanted to play. And now bring the knight to c5. Now I will definitely play... No, I can... This is actually a double attack. I wanted to say I'll fix the pawn, but I can take a pawn. One of these. So knight b2 is now a threat if he develops normally. They're blundering a lot of stuff. Even more tactics than me. Oh, hello to Chess Lions. Yeah, Quoting Shakespeare, he said the problem is not in our stars, but in ourselves, as far as I remember. And here the problem is not in our d6, but in ourselves. It's always the problem in ourselves. Yeah, Jerome. This I said once on the stream, and then back then I had mods. Back then I had mods who put it as a quote. Just 1 second. Games is like 203. 36 was 36 was the number. So it should be 167, and yeah, that's it. I'm just trying to track the counter of the wins. Okay. Let's go. Now we finally get one of the main lines. From the whole course. And here against the King's Indian Fenketsu, we suggest to move bishop f5, followed by knight c3, knight e4. The point of this is to immediately... You have less space. So the point of this is immediately to exchange one pair of pieces. And now go bishop c8. This is one of the main lines of the whole course, where f4 is the best move. e4 is also possible. f4 was featured in my co-author's game Mircea Parlegras in the Romanian Championship just a few days ago. You can check it out. And here, if they go for something like this, now we have achieved everything we wanted and more, and I'll explain you why. So the opponent's pawn structure is destroyed. We'll fix it. There is no real attack, and these pawns are just gonna get under a huge attack in the Nimzovich style, where we're gonna go knight a5, b6, bishop a6. That's going to be our plan, and we will leave the structure alone. This I will never touch because it will open up the bishop. So yeah, now we're gonna go knight a5. Strategically, we have achieved absolutely everything in this game. And now absolutely the move c5, very important strategical point. After takes, or even without takes. Now this is going to be very weak. Bishop c5 tactics don't work because this is defended. Now we'll go bishop d7 and take the pawn. And just like that, we got a winning position out of the opening with a pawn up, following the line from the course. This very often happens, even with stronger players. They just don't understand the strategy behind this too well. So it's definitely one of the suggestions in the course, which I'm quite happy about. It also brought me some success as well. Played against the international master Tica, and this line led me and my team to win the Croatian Cup 2024. Inspired by Fischer. No, but it's just like I said that due to some personal reasons. Of course, it's not true. Of course, it's not true that I don't believe in love. I'm trying to think, like, queen f8, bishop h6 is a possible way of continuing. If I could exchange these bishops, then my strong bishop would be left here, and his weak bishop on g2 would be its counterpart. My opponent was supposed to go queen c1, I'm pretty sure, to stop this, because now I achieved the strategical idea. As also, this allowed me to gain control over the d4 square, which helps also really a lot. Now I can go rook d2, or I can go queen d2. I should choose one before I lose in time. The rook on a8 is defended, so takes is not a problem. It took this long to get to main line. Yeah, I guess. So rook d3, there is queen b1, then this is gonna hang. Okay, I'll play it in a primitive way then, just defend stuff. Don't have to win immediately, I can win later on. Rook d1, I probably have to go back to g5 though, which is not ideal. And this one, now I'll go here. c5, there's this, and rook b1 does not contain a threat just yet, I think. But what am I going to do actually? Okay, let's go b3. Trying to defend it with rook d3. I only have 21 seconds. Yeah, Shakespeare believed in psychology. I don't know. Not sure. Let's go here. Now I'm allowing c5 though. But hopefully my pawn will be faster. Now bishop e4 is a threat, so my opponent's play was not best, that's for sure. Not best, but still very, very possible. Let's go here. Hopefully my opponent plays c5, then never mind. He does not. I'm probably losing this on time. Positional wise, it's of course not a problem. It never is with d6, but time wise, it's a problem. Alright, I think the main strategical point of the line was definitely very well presented in this game. So, okay, there's also knight h4, bishop e4. Here there's b3, which was played against me on the European last year. But knight c3, knight e4 is the main line. And here if they take knight e4, bishop e4, you immediately block the strong bishop on g2. You have the strong bishop on g7, and strategically the center could backfire. You'll follow up with c5, knight c6 or something, or d5 even, depending on what they do. See it all in the course. Use the chessable command, buy the course. I have to promote it. Use the chessable command, buy the course. You'll see all of this. And knight h4. Here, rook b1 is a move, e4 is a move, f4 is a move, knight f3, it's all been covered. And the only dangerous move is f4, but still black is fine. And knight f3. I think this was very clearly shown why it's quite good for us. c5 is usually the main like the critical continuation, but here even if you take dc, bishop e6, you get a better structure, and this fixed bishop, it just hits the wall of pawns. And what happened in the game was pure strategical outplaying, pawn up, better pieces, and yeah. The conversion was of course not good because I was in time trouble, but we got the job done. Just 1 second, I accidentally clicked on something. Okay, so let's update the win counter. I'm getting back to the chat. It's good when you mention the actual course in the gameplay where it's relevant. Yeah, this is definitely well covered, and it will lead you to very nice wins if you study this one properly. You don't believe in good moves. Good chess is unachievable ideal. No auto queen, brutal. No, I mean sometimes I need the knight, so. Domilos, može jedna partija. Nažalost ne igram s gledateljima, nego idemo na ovom profilu do 3000 ratinga protiv različitih protivnika. Hello to ChessPawn01, welcome to the stream. Let's keep going. Onda ćete snajpati slobodno, to može. Sorry for the creation, but okay, this is going to also happen very often in your games, and as we have said, this is the setup we are using against it with c6, and just this setup. This without d4 I have not seen before, but I think now is a good choice. It's a good chance to actually seize the whole center, because after d4 there was e4, knight f4, even g5, and you get a very, very nice version of the French. So that's why they usually play d4, but which is of course thoroughly covered in the course. But this has its drawbacks. Now we got a big center. We get an amazing version of the French. with the bishop very passive, and basically I can play on both sides of the board. I can play on both sides of the board very nicely. Bishop f3. Probably, because if takes, then the knight is trapped, and otherwise I'll get queen e8, queen to h5, and then knight g4, just going for an all-out assault. h3 is probably what my opponent should play. And now I need to think a good way to continue the attack. Maybe it's harder. Maybe that's easier said than done. Funny, it's quite a solid position for my opponent, although extremely passive. But I don't see a clear breakthrough, so I should probably just do something positional. And I'm trying to find something because my feeling tells me there is something, but yeah, as I always say to my students, don't trust your feeling. It will usually backfire. Okay, let's just double the rooks here. Bishop d6 and go f4. Why king f1? Because of knight g1. Okay, but this will just help me, no? To get in f4. Now with the two rooks here, it has to be really good. If queen takes, now I played the knight anywhere, I think. And after queen g4, I take f2. And here, I mean, I planned this one. Maybe there was something stronger, but like get the exchange. Why not? Queen e2. I might even take on f2 actually. I mean, both is good. No, I'll take this one. Now he has to take with the rook, then I'll take here, and then I'll take on d4 as well. And it all comes with a tempo. This one is hanging, and the other knight is on its way as well. I'll go here. It's an ugly move to make, but I want to defend the pawn. And now go where? Here, I guess. Then go d4. Oh, why did I blunder it? I'm blundering stuff. Blundering way too much stuff. I'm blundering way too much stuff. That was completely winning, but I got into time trouble and started blundering. So what else is new? Now I have to try to win. Win in a positional way. Which is not only not easy, but maybe I'm not even better anymore. Because of... Maybe I'm not even better anymore because all of the pawns I decided to give to my opponent. Of course, I didn't decide to give anything. I blundered all of them, but it sounded nicer if I said I gave them. Now, where do I go? I need to go down. I want to go knight d3. If I can exchange one pair of knights, then my passed b pawn together with the h pawn should do the trick. Of course, there is still counterplay. Fortunately, knight f5 I can take now. It's amazing how many winning positions I'm screwing up. Of course, I could have promoted immediately, but it's fine as well. Just take. Now we can start pushing the pawn down the board. No stalemate nonsense. And we got the job done somehow. Even without a queen, you can hold alt. Yeah, you can do that. You can hold alt as well. Trust your feeling if it's right, don't trust it if it's wrong. I always say to my students not to trust it, but just to trust their calculation. So everything was amazing out of the opening. It was just a big advantage. Okay, maybe not big, but surely an advantage for black. So the problem was again not in our d6, but in ourselves. This was also fine. And where did the problems even start? Bishop g5, a rook f2, and then yeah, just keep the queen and try to attack. And this was all still fine. Not knight b6, knight c5, and then knight d3, of course. Huge sense, but I was in time trouble, so what else is new? Did I update the win counter? I don't know. Don't remember. Let me just check briefly. Sorry about that. 205 minus 36, 170. Yeah, this is good. Okay, let's keep going. So now we get some kind of a hybrid with the bishop on g2. We were usually not putting it there, but still. I'll try to play it in an English way then. My opponent played the like c6, d6, queen c7 setup, which is quite a passive one. Okay. How do they always beat me here? Okay, queen c2 is probably normal. And bishop a3 maybe. I'll play e3. That's like not needed, but I just don't want to think about knight d4 and stuff. Restrict the knight on e6, so yeah. I think that with more space I should have a good... this is not our setup where we already have f5, f4. This is not... It's not the same. Here it's quite a bit more passive for my opponent. And I'll try to exploit the tactics here with knight e5. This is a known motive in the structure with the bishop on e7. And I think here it works very nicely. So again, call this a huge opening success with 1 d3. Yeah, but now, okay, knight d7 or knight c6? Like both seem amazingly good. Nah, I'm too materialistic to not go for knight d7. Let's bring the rook here. The rest should be easy, but should be. We have seen many things from me today. Let's go f4. Now knight f3, king h1 is just gonna leave the knight here with no squares, and knight e6 back. That's where it came from now. King f2, there was knight h2, knight g4. That was not the idea, but now I want to go queen f2. Okay, now first of all I can trade off everything and go to a winning endgame. h3, queen f5, bishop f3 wins material. Like, just for simplicity's sake, when there are no queens on the board, I'll play this with an exchange and the pawn up. It's just very easy. Let's go here. Take this. Okay, here, then I'm just gonna go king f2. So let's chase the knights away first. Also, this bishop might get trapped now after king f2. Yeah, okay, everything was of course completely winning. But yeah, my opponent blundered this this tactic with bc6 and knight e5. When the bishop is on a3 in this structure and the opponent's bishop on e7, you always need to think about this on this side. Okay, what else? Oh, hello, Belly Salife. Thank you for the raid with a party of 17. Thank you very much for the raid. Is there a so command? I'm not used to raids. I almost never get them, so thank you again for the raids. Wait, the so command obviously doesn't work. I apologize for that. Let me see if I can add it now. No, I cannot. Okay, I should have a moderator. I apologize for this, but definitely do follow out Belisa Live. And thanks again. We're here playing the lines from our new Chessable course. You can use the Chessable command, which will lead you to the course. It's written by me and co-authored by GM Mircea Parligras, who is here in the chat as Mircea the best. No, not only wins. I lost one game, got flagged. So yeah. Have I played shogi? I tried, but didn't learn the rules. I know about it. Oh, shoutout will work? Oh, yeah, I'm not... apologize for that, I'm not a content creator. Okay, there we go. Thanks for pointing that out, John Gold 7. And do follow Belisa. I will be the first one to do that. So you do that as well. Following you now. How was your stream? Yeah, you can use the Chessable. You can use the Chessable command, which will lead you to the course. And you can also use the YouTube command, which will lead you to my YouTube, where the first 5 parts of the speedrun are already published, and this one will be there soon, as soon as I finish it. You are learning shogi? Rules are very complex. Harder than chess, much harder. I think it's much harder. I don't know all of the rules, so... Okay, against the London, as we have said in the course and many times in the stream before, we are going to go either for the quick e5, or if not allowed, as my opponent is not allowing it now, then we're going to go for the double fianchetto with g6, bishop g7, castles b6, bishop b7, and yeah, b6, bishop b7, bishop b2. I think castles was fine still, because usually want to go knight e4 and get rid of some pieces if the pawn is on c4, similar to the King's Indian, but if they go queen c2 to stop it, you have e5 then, and takes, knight e5, takes, there's bishop g2 in the end. That's why they have to castle first, and now I can get this in. It's all in the course, don't worry. Feel free to check it out. Yeah, this is a very solid structure, and you're usually ready no matter what, how the position opens up, you're usually ready to face... to solve all of the problems. And e5 is always the strategical line in order to activate this bishop and to passivize this bishop even further. So yeah, that's what I'll do now. Bishop there, and yeah, I'm gonna go here now. Trying to go knight d3, rook d8 and knight d3 is going to be very nice. e4 I can play whenever I want. That will open both my bishop and my opponent's bishop, so I need to time it right. Very often... No, does this one work? Knight d3, rook c3, there's e4. No? I don't really believe in this for my opponent. I also have rook d8 or bishop f3 first if I need to do that, but yeah, I mean, I wanted to bring the knight here anyway. So this is how we deal with the London system in the course. It's one of the very, like, the London players don't enjoy playing against this. They don't like when this bishop, which is always their best piece, gets so passive. I'm thinking about playing c5. I'll try to do that. So the point is simply to provoke either b5 or bc5, and bc5 will create an isolated pawn here after I take with the knight, and b5 would simply like it would give me a foothold in the center, and then whenever I play e4, my opponent does not have the d4 square anymore for the knight. So for example b5, I would be able to take bishop f3, go e4, and then there was no more knight d4 because it was covered. Yeah, my opponent now of course wants to take and take my knight. So yeah, the strategy I guess should now be to just attack this pawn many times. Queen e4 is probably good now. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Queen e4, because if I can get rid of the queens, then this knight will remain passive, the bishop will remain passive, and yeah, it should be very good. London players don't enjoy chess at all. Yeah, some of my viewers are saying that regularly. So definitely. Okay, queen c3, that's quite logical. They can go rook d3 maybe, no, then knight c5. So I cannot do that. I guess I should just move the knight somewhere. No, I don't have to move the knight somewhere actually. Okay, just a second, before I lose on time, I need to focus a bit more. Knight d3, why not? Then I want to take queen c4, and this is defended. And e4 I'll have next, if needed. So this should be best. Knight d2 is now possible, but then I go queen c6 and e4. And yeah, I forced my opponent to retreat. So this is the right approach. I'll have to speed up now, so I'll probably be ignoring the chat. I don't enjoy chess, but not making it to London yet. Why are you not enjoying chess? Okay, classical I'm also not enjoying that much anymore. Especially if there is no good anti-cheating, which is the case on many open tournaments. That's why I stopped playing them. And but yeah, so I get that part. Let's go e4. No, that's not gonna work. But even if my opponent moved the queen, I would just go rook d7, and still, my bishop was much better than his, my knight is much better than his, and yeah, everything is good. Okay, let's keep going. Or yeah, I think the strategy I explained mainly here. So there are two possibilities. They can play with c3, knight bd2, or this with c4, knight c3. So yeah, and here the queen c2 line to stop knight e4 doesn't work. Usually if they can achieve bishop h2, queen c2, and e4, they can be a bit better, still not much, but they can play for an advantage there. And here it's absolutely fine. I would already choose black, and I've played this many times already. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, it was time trouble. My opponent blundered. The position was already relatively hard, so... Okay, my opponent is now playing for a kind of a King's Indian attack. I'm gonna go for the line with a4 against it. With a4, and then... How was it played? Bishop f4, and then e4. I think it was played something like e4 now, but I don't remember. And then after d takes, you just play for some positional compensation with knight a3 and so on. I don't remember if this is the right approach, but I know if this is the right move order, but usually that's the right approach. And then you just play for, like, this bishop is passive, all of your pieces are out, and you just try to create a bunch of counterplay here. That's the strategy. It's an interesting sideline, surely. Okay, I'll go knight d2, trying to put the knight here. d6 or c7? d6 has to be right. c7 would be way too passive. Also, this pawn can be now attacked with knight b3 or knight c4 just to go to b6. I mean, this looks like the right move. Trusting my instinct, which I shouldn't do, but yeah, we know where time trouble leads me. Leads me usually into a loss. Yeah, this was good to stop this. But now if I go here, then just bishop d7 and no harm done, eh? Okay, the position has to be really good for me. I just need to find the right approach, which is easier said than done. Okay, I'll stop b5. I think that's needed. I know c6 was still hanging, but with the structure fixed like this, it will always be very hard for my opponent to defend this one. Now I think I can go knight b7 and bishop c6. The other question is how. I'm not sure how good it is, but the tactics work. But I'm like allowing my opponent to untangle a bit. Maybe c3 and just doubling the rooks was preferable. But I'm too materialistic. You know me, guys, or at least part of you knows me. So I'm just gonna take the pawn, and then after rook c7, go knight e5 and pin my opponent's pieces quite a lot. Rook c7 here. So now my opponent cannot move the rook. He needs to go with the king, probably. And then this one I just take, no? This is now an exchange. I could have taken as well first, but I'm not that worried if my opponent keeps the bishop. I actually intended this move. Knight d7, threatening knight f8, and then takes. And if my opponent trades off the knights and everything, then the endgame is just completely winning because I'm destroying my opponent's counterplay and all of his pieces. Yeah, this is a possibility as well, but I'm still gonna haunt my opponent with the rook exchange. And now when he declines it, then I'm gonna... Sorry for my broken voice. It got broken because of too much talking. Then I'll take this pawn and escort the a pawn down the board. Go here, next move. So yeah, this was, I think, quite an instructive way to fight against the... to fight with the King's Indian attack. Just playing for activity. Yeah, you can remember these plans with a4 or with bishop f4 and e4. This is the alternative to the mainline knight d2. The mainline knight d2 actually played against a little bit different move order in the Bundesliga 2 days ago, but yeah, this is an alternative way to play it. Hello to Kenny Gray. I can't believe you see that far. When you're a GM you see something, but you can also do that by training tactics and just improving chess. So. Hello to Trunkane. Can I play rapid against you? No, sorry, we're doing a speedrun here to 3000 using the lines from our Chessable course, which you can see by using the Chessable command. Okay, so the problem here, or I wouldn't call it a problem, was that we were allowing our opponent to get this, and now we don't have the fillator. That's the downside when you're white. When you're black, you don't have these problems. Yeah, but the c2 pawn... Okay, I give it up, but so what? Okay, takes. I'm not sure if I was supposed to allow this, but anyway, we need to keep going. But the c2 pawn just, like, that doesn't matter. It's more important that to destroy your opponent's... When you're material up, you want to trade pieces. Because if you manage to trade the pieces... Okay, I'll go to e2 this game and then follow up with this plan. When you trade pieces, you destroy your opponent's activity, and with material up, it's going to just bring you an easier win than not doing it. And the c2 pawn, if I gave it up last game, it would not create like it would not create a pass pawn for my opponent or anything. Yeah, I'm not. Okay, so here my opponent allowed me to go knight g5. There's bishop g4 then, though. Okay, I'll just go c3 then. I think it's quite a good idea here. My opponent will try to go knight c5 though. And knight on e2 is passive now. The structure is not ideal if the knight is there. Okay, so I'm just gonna change the structure completely and threaten d5 and seize the center. It also gives up some squares like the c4 square, but still, it feels like the right approach. And the Twitch followers get a discount on the course. The introductory offer to the course finishes in our day or two. I'm not sure. You can check it out on Chessable, but this is, if you want to buy the course, this is the best time to do that. This is the best time to do that because of the discount. And yeah, the lines, I mean, even if you don't buy the course, just by watching the speedrun, you can see how I'm using the lines against different levels of opponents. Yeah, I did not play this in the best possible way. That's for sure. My opponent can play c6 now, and yeah, I was supposed to play it in a completely different way. Yeah, okay, so I closed my chess.com account a long time ago. The knight is clumsy now. I can not go for f4. Yeah, did not play well this game, that's for sure. I'll still go d6, I guess. And rook d1. Try to go maybe knight h5, f4 in a couple of moves. So I closed my chess.com account a long time ago. It was just bringing me a lot of negative emotions. So I decided to stop playing it competitively, on chess.com. But when I was playing, I had like 3020 was my peak, something like that. I don't remember exactly, but something like that. Yeah, for most, I agree with that. And for almost all of the lines, this is included. I mean, people thus far have given quite positive reviews of the course. Yeah, my opponent now, let's say, trapped my rook, but don't blunder knight f3. Okay, let's just go let's just go faster, that's the point. I need to focus a bit. Sorry, I'll ignore the chat for a while. Try to focus. Maybe this is an idea, but there is knight f3, so I cannot do it yet. Maybe I'll go king h1. It's hard to play for both me and for my opponent. I'll try this plan, which I highlighted, and then maybe d7, but d7... Yeah, I don't have anything concrete just yet. Now I think I have. Hopefully this works. After takes, there is d8, queen, and then... No, there is queen f8 in the end. Now I want queen e7. The good thing is this is still winning. But yeah, this was... I mean, I played nicely until at one point in the game, then I started messing everything up completely. Online chess is significantly more miserable than over the board. Yeah. So yeah, the downside of this position is now you have to choose either g3 or either g3 or knight bd2. And if you go knight bd2, then they can go for the King's Indian, where you cannot go for our plan with h4, which is given in the course. And if you go for g3, they can go knight c6, and now you have to choose between d4, which like it's not the part of the course, or this one, which is now not a Philidor. Usually they play like this, but I was trying to give a line. I was trying to give more for fighting lines in the speedrun. So what went wrong here? d5 immediately? Why was it working? What was I worried about? No, it was just d6. I didn't see tactics. No. I messed it up. Completely. Knight f4 is wrong. I wanted to have, like, after c6, I wanted to have it more solid, and also wanted to cover knight d3, but it's a completely wrong square. It blocks my f4 break. So yeah. And here my opponent had a decent position, I guess. Yeah. The engine even gives winning after some g5s, but here I could not really find the win after rook e7, rook a... What did I not see? This one I did not see. Lovely. I'm not tactically sharp. At least not today. And then later on it was a roller coaster. But still, having a winning position after 15 moves is good. No way I can agree with that. Okay, depends on people, I guess. Depends on people, how they deal with emotions. I did not update the win counter, right? Okay, so the important thing is to not go for f5s here, because after f5s, there's d4 and d5, and then white gets favorable version of this. There are several recommendations. g6 is one of them, which can be used. Knight f6 was another one. So yeah, let's play the end game. By course, get good. How not to get stuck at 1900. So, like, I mean, working with a coach always helps, but simply improving more, not improving more, but what was I gonna say? Put the knight, let's put the knight here. What was I gonna say? Simply invest more time into chess and into studying, and the results will come. They will definitely come. And, like, get an opening repertoire where people where you will always have known positions. Work with a coach if you don't have one. Several things you can do. Yeah, here the position is very solid for both me and my opponent. I will try to seize more space. Usually if there is no clear plan, seizing more space is preferable. But I definitely like my position. So let's try to seize space on this side of the board as well. Maybe I should have started with h5, but did not want to allow h4. And here if he goes g4, then at least his pawns will be on his bishop collar, so maybe I achieved something. Knight d6 was also fine. This one I'm not allowing, that's for sure. Okay, yeah, interesting discussion in the chat. I'll leave that to you guys. I'll go g4, seize even more space. The knight on e4 looks nice, but I'm not too afraid. Not too afraid of it. It doesn't threaten all that much. Can I go here? Looks a bit clumsy. But the point is, if knight g3, knight h4, there is e4. So the whole point is wrong by me. I mean, the whole point was to put the knight here on h4 to tie the king to this square, and if g3, there is always knight f3. So f5 is a threat now. I guess my opponent will need to play some c4. But there I get the b4 square as well. Yeah, everyone's different. Like some people react better. Some people react better to over-the-board chess. Some of them to online chess. I don't think there is a universal. Don't think there's a universal rule. It just depends on the person, but I might be wrong. Not sure. So yeah, I guess I will continue the plan with f5. I need to be careful about this pawn. For example, if I exchange the rooks. Okay, so what's the right strategy? King f6, king g5 is one thing. f4 is tempting. Take, knight e4 back, knight e5. I mean, this looks right, and it's a blitz game, so this was probably a mouse slip, but I was still better. There was also the d4 square for the knight. So, mouse slips will happen to my opponents. They will happen to me as well. What can you do? But anyway, everyone who I beat gets a refund. Anyway, as this is the official chess.com authorized speedrun account, so don't worry, you'll get the rating back. Yeah, in the course, actually I gave something else, with knight f6 and so on. Doesn't matter, but g6 is also very playable. Against b3 you will never have problems. Just it's important that against b3, check out the course. But it's important not to go f5 because of d4, d5 early on, and this bishop is very strong. So yeah. Repertoire problem, that one I can solve just by the course. I mean, studying openings is very hard in today's chess because there is so much theory, all the knowledge is available to everyone. That's why I prefer chess 960. And finally, I think we'll get a mainline filler there, right? Or do we get some of the sidelines? It will also be interesting. No, we get d5. Okay, we get this one. This one's actually quite interesting. Where they take the rook. This is all, don't worry, this is all covered in the course quite nicely. So here there is, if I remember correctly, b6 and b5 are the two possible moves. Or was it just b5? I don't remember exactly. Why do I not remember exactly? I think it was b5 and then queen a5 or bishop b7. So how did this line go? Knight d5, there was bishop d6, right? Because it's very important not to allow this knight to go here. So I think this was the move. Or was it knight e4 first? I should be remembering this line, but I don't. Just funny. I think it's this and then bishop here. But I might be wrong. Yeah, and then basically your opponent gets 2 pawns and the rook. You get 2 pieces, but you gain a lot of activity. I'll check this out. I'll check this out in the course. As soon as this game is finished. Let's threaten checkmate. Because I forgot, like sometimes you need to remember in a blitz game, it's often hard. Does bishop e4 work, by the way? Take, check. Oof. I mean, just taking is fine, but okay. I'll be greedy again. I'll want more. This could backfire badly, especially as I didn't calculate everything. But I've calculated something. Hopefully it's enough. Okay, if my opponent does something like this, then I think it's quite comfortable. Let's go here. Yeah, tricky position. It's not far, but I mean, it's my own fault. I should have repeated it. Okay, what do I play now? I don't know. I'll go for e4. This is the point, and now I want to go queen f4. Take this, also to weaken my opponent's king is the point. If takes, there is bishop b5. h6 would be very useful as well, so that there's no more nonsense here. Okay, here I guess in bishop f4 is also fine. Okay, let's give a check first. There's queen c4. Okay, I messed this up. I don't have time. I'll go h6. I need this luft for the king, but I messed this up really badly. Like now my bishops are not... this one I did see. But now my bishops are just not... Yeah, I messed this up. I was surely winning at some point, but... Yeah. Okay, king d3, I was probably... I don't know what was going on there. Just 1 second, I will need to check this out, because I forgot this line, which I was not supposed to forget. Ah, b6, yeah, b6 was the move, not b5 in this line, but b5 also exists, but we gave b6 because it's better. And then just bishop a6, yeah, that's right, bishop a6 it was. It was b6, bishop e3, bishop a6, knight b6, a, b, f3, and then you follow up with bishop b4. That was the line. And b5 was not ideal, but I still got a nice position, of course. Bishop e4 best. And now I messed up. Somehow. And just bishop e4 wins on the spot. But even this was actually winning. Somehow it was always winning for me, even though I thought it was not. Strange. But yeah, the bishops are just good and my king is relatively safe, so it makes some sense, yeah. Indeed. The opponent did see queen f2 mate, yeah. Hello to Ingo, welcome, welcome. Hello to Dark Mine 1664, yeah. Before, yeah, I can check if that's mate. I don't think I have to. We're almost at 2200. That's good. Check out the course. Use the chessable command, guys. Check out the course, and yeah. You can also get these nice positions. Okay, now I'm just very curious about something. If I play a3 and my opponent goes knight f6, okay, he goes for this. Then I would go for bishop g5 and play the sideline which was suggested for black in the course with a3 a tempo up. And okay, like this, I get the same-ish, but this same-ish already has a3. So it has to be a great version. Okay, there is that pawn sack stuff, but if I go for the knight c3 line with rook b1 and b4, I'm just one tempo up. Just one tempo up in this line, which is, even without being that tempo up, very interesting. I mean, even without being a tempo up, I did win a game there. So wait. Considering my opponent has not moved this knight yet. Okay, I'll go e4. This is very similar to my game in the Austrian Bundesliga against Baldau with colors reversed. And now knight a4, trying to open things up. And this is a threat as well. So my opponent has to go here. And then I'm going to open up with this. Okay, this is not going to get the job done. This is how I won against GM Baldau in 2024 Austrian League. So with a tempo up, it's even better, of course. I mean, I remember in that game the engine was giving some knight e5s. Of course, the human approach is here in f4. So I'll go for the human approach. What's my real rating? 2569 FIDE. Knight f5 is good. Queen h4. Oh, queen h5, sorry. Queen h5, bishop f7. It's probably also at least decent. My opponent's gonna castle. That's okay. I'll go here just to open up this bishop, or if my opponent castles, then probably queen g4. Okay, now with this bishop opened up, I don't expect problems. Really? Okay, let's activate all of her pieces then first. And also attack stuff. Queen b3 can also be interesting to stop castles, because the king can stay in the center then. It could also be beneficial. But of course, with an exchange up, everything is winning. So, I mean, okay, I'll be greedy and not allow castles. And then I'm trying to go f4 and just attack this king with all of my pieces. My king is completely safe. I'm in exchange up. But, of course, I still need to win. If I don't get into time trouble, it should be fine. Ah, yeah, nice rating, okay. The good old jokes, number jokes. Okay, let's go here. Oh, hello to Dancing Pawn. Strong GM, I'm an average GM. I don't know why it's blacklisted, it's not by me. Bishop d5 is good, but... Okay, takes is good, bishop d5 is good. Yeah, let's just go here. And then take next move. And I'll also bring the rook to play. Now I'll go back because the other front gets opened up and it can be very, very tricky for my opponent. I'm surprised that it was not mate yet, but this will get the job done, that's for sure. My opponent for the whole game has absolutely no counterplay, he just has to defend stuff. I could have done a better job in converting it, but we don't care, we just care about the win. And now it's time for this. Yeah, it's queen f6, there was takes. Okay. This was very instructive, I think, how King's Indian positions with tempo up can be very, very dangerous. Like a3 is always useful in any King's Indian structure, especially in the Zamish. Yeah, they have to go something like knight a6 here, and then like c3, which almost transposed to my game against GM Baldau. And then you open the center with d4 and try to claim this king is very unsafe. Even with a tempo down, this is good, and with a tempo up, I'm pretty sure white is better, but the engine may not agree. Still, I think d5. I mean, it's probably, maybe it's dynamically balanced, fair enough, but of course this is a weak engine anyway. You have 1600 FIDE, just keep working, it will come. Hello to DH Aruva Singh or Dhruv Singh, I'm not sure if it's your real name. Can you play with me? No, sorry, I'm playing a speedrun here. The goal rating is 3000. Do I play German Bundesliga? Yeah, I played. I used D6 this weekend as well on board 1 very successfully, but I didn't win the games. I could have won with D6 with black very easily. I was winning after 20 moves. Then just screwed up. I'm screwing up a lot of games in the German Bundesliga this season. On a good note, we're 2200 now. So, do we go for 2300 immediately or not? What do you say, chat? Do we go for it or not? It says there are a lot of viewers, so... Yeah. Okay, Meow says yes. Against Mateusz Bartel, the strong Polish GM. I also played d6 against Firuza, and let's just say he offered me a draw very quickly. Can maybe get me in pool? Could be. Okay, we will play more than try to get to 2300. And now probably some real lines will start at 2200. Okay, knight d2. Yeah, d5, no real lines yet. This knight d2 line, it was given also in the GM Alonso's course, but after c3, c3 was given there. It's also covered in our course, so no worries. As we have said, whenever they go for this d5 nonsense, you have a very easy plan, a very easy play as well. With f3, it's even better than usually. Okay, maybe I'll go h5, h4 to see some space immediately. Playing on the dark squares now. e5, now b4 is not possible. And a4, as we have said many times before, is a big strategical point in this line. So I'm gonna go do that now. If b3 I can take, and then this pawn will be weak. Knight takes, and now... Okay, there is no threat yet. Maybe bishop e3. Other than that, nothing. Okay, I'll just take. Rook takes, go queen back, I suppose, and now this pawn is weak. h5 was, I guess, not needed. I should have gone for bishop e7 and not play smart, but you should not play smart if you're not actually smart. Let's go h4. And now there could be some potential here. Just 1 second to see. Maybe knight h5. There is some knight g3 potential in these structures. Yeah, bishop b6 may be a problem. Okay, I don't mind spending a move on this. It will cover the square. And then I'll continue with queen d8, bishop g5 probably. Can castle as well, but I'm not sure if it's needed yet. The rook here can be beneficial. Okay, this I'm pretty sure is not a good move. Because now I'll simply... Oh, the rook. I would... Had he taken with the bishop, then I would have a huge dark square control. But after taking with the bishop, I'm an exchange up, so should also be very good. Let's go h3 to weaken the king further. g3. Maybe rook b6. Just to exchange one more piece and destroy a bit more of the opponent's counterplay. Now I think I can go cd, but then knight d5, queen c5, bishop e3. Okay, that's the point. Fair enough, so I'm gonna go here instead, attack this and this. Knight a4. I think developing with a tempo here is nice, exploiting the fact that this is checkmate. So I'm gonna do that. I can still castle at any moment. Are those 4 losses from cheaters, or we got flagged in a better position? One was against the cheater and I got the points back. The other ones I got flagged in games where I was completely winning before. Those are the losses. Okay, what's the best way? Probably this one. Because now, whatever he takes with, I have bishop d4, king h1. Yeah, this is... like, bishop f3, queen f3. Queen e1 is checkmate, of course. I'll play that, but just for curiosity's sake, is queen e1 also winning with bishop f3? That's a bit nicer, but okay. Like, who cares? We don't care about how nice it is, we only care that we win the game. Okay, of course, when they played this d5, just 1 second, I'll update the win counter. Yeah, c3 is the best, but okay, this stuff is, of course, immediately quite very pleasant, because you get a great version of the King's Indian defense. The bishop is not even here. But yeah, h5 was probably a bit too much. Still, it was of course good for me. Queen a... I was supposed to keep the queen on the other side of the board. Yeah, that makes sense. But still, not at the end. At any point in the game, it was not like worse or anything. Maybe, like, this weak engines always give small advantage to white because of the space. But yeah, bishop f4 was not better either. Ef, rook f, because of, like, you get amazing dark squared control all over. And this was, of course, as well quite efficient. Bishop g4 was a nice find, but everything else wins as well. So yeah. Yeah, queen e1, of course, always wins. As well wins, sorry. Am I an opening expert? In this openings, which I'm using, absolutely. Because I wrote a chessable course on it. Guys, use the chessable command and the YouTube command. The first one leads you to the course, the second one leads you to my YouTube, where the first 5 parts of the speedrun are uploaded already. Yeah, EU with 24, this could be very good for you, this repertoire. If you're looking for something new and unexplored, the lines are fresh, the repertoire is easy to learn. Knight d7 is what we are suggesting against this. And now f4 is actually the critical approach. My opponent knows what he's doing here. And in the line it was given c5. d5 was not given. This knight f3 is the best move. Then you follow up with takes and d5 with extremely sharp positions. And here, if I remember correctly, c4 was the problem with d5, because then takes, there was knight e4, and here you get in knight c5. You want to take on e4, and then you get a lot of nice squares and counterplay. So this is one of the main things from the course. Definitely a good game for promotion and for knowing the lines. Let's go bishop g4 to develop with a tempo. Queen e3. And I wanted to take... What's the best continuation exactly? Wouldn't be surprised if it's... Okay, I'll take. I wouldn't be surprised if it's queen e7, actually, to just attack the pawn immediately. But then knight d2. No, there's knight d5 as well. So, knight d2, if I see it correctly, takes knight d3. Double attack. Am I blundering something? Final check. We'll find out soon enough. d5, well, yeah, d5 was not ideal from white, but yeah. Go for the style. Queen e1 for style points, yes. Go for efficiency. This is good. I can sack my queen. Who needs queens anyway? Right, guys? High rated feeder, but style points are always good. It depends if you're playing for the viewers or not. If I was a full-time content creator, then maybe I would do it. But I'm not. Fortunately or unfortunately. Now I guess it's time to go d5 to exploit the pin and to create this weakness. e5 is possible and maybe should be played. Bishop f5 I could have maybe played as well. Okay, many good options. Anyway, d5, it's not even creating a threat just yet, so I can do anything. But maybe just knight d7 to take it. No matter if it's not, the knight is not attacked, this could still be very good. Background noise. The noise in the background, that's people who are like advertising. They're passing next to me, next to my building, and they are advertising their services for collecting, cleaning, and so on, as far as I understand. So that's the background noise. Sorry if it bothers you, but not much I can do about that. Takes. We'll take with the queen. And now with 2 pawns up, or even if he gets one back, we should have comfortably winning position one more time. It's castle. If takes anything, there is rook d1 I wanted to say. And had he castled, then there was e3. So yeah. Let's give a check. This was very quick and efficient. And it's a great also promotion of this line in the course. So yeah, sometimes they do this bishop d3, the positional setup. And after e5, c3, there's also knight f3, but c3 is the main move. Knight d7, you get very, very interesting sidelines after knight f3, d5, and after f4, c5 as well. The main line goes like this, with sharpness everywhere. Check out the course, buy it on Chessable, guys, and you can win games like this quite nicely. I'm a bit curious about this after. So c4. No, not queen e7. How did it work? Knight f3 takes castles. Yeah, maybe, but it's very sharp. Impossible to understand this in a blitz game, I think. g5. This actually did occur to me, honestly, to get rook g8 in, but I just didn't believe in it. Like, felt very strange. And here knight d5 was indeed working, so yeah, the rest was clean. Good, we're getting real lines, but against real lines we're booked even better than against garbage lines. Yeah, it's gone now, the background noise is gone, so they just left, the people in this truck. They're doing this relatively regularly here in Croatia. It's very sharp, but you don't need to memorize all that much. You need to know some critical lines, that's for sure, but not that much. Okay, let's go for e4 now. e5 and play the Philidor reversed. Good. And still they keep taking. They still keep taking this. Okay, let's go a4, fix the structure. And now we slowly but surely continue. Okay, I guess I'll go knight g5 to get the tempo, as my opponent gave me this opportunity. What's the best way to try to exploit this? Bishop c4 is one thing. I actually like it to put the bishop here, and then there is no more bishop e6. There is bishop g4, but this bishop, I don't know, I'm not that big of a fan of putting it here. Let me go here. This has a It's quite a primitive move, attacking stuff, but it has a point that after b6 or that after b6, for example, that I can go here. Still, I think. Okay. Maybe now it's not that good, but against b6 there's bishop b5, and this pawn would be under big attack. Now I'm curious on the other hand about bishop d5, because after takes ed, this will still be hanging. Bishop b5 as well, but then there's this. Somehow this bishop looks too nice to give up though. Oh well, let's go knight h4 then. Create a threat and also trying to bring the knight to f5. I prefer this one. Yeah, takes. Ah, no, actually, it's not supposed to allow this. Yeah, this was not good by me. I miscalculated something after knight g6, knight d2 takes. Just don't have anything. Okay, this is a blunder on my part tactically. It's a sign that I'm too tired, and that when we reach 2300 we should end, or 2250 maybe even. I mean, okay, I guess. Need to search for some counterplay. Bishop f2, rook f is possible, then I'll take b7 or this one. At least to get two bishops in when I blundered this pawn. Oh well, what can you do? Hello to Surfing Venice, hello from Michigan, hello from Zagreb, Croatia. So takes here is one thing, but I want to take here. First to attack the knight. 97? No. This does not work. This is covered, and otherwise I take it. And bishop c8 potentially, but then I have at least queen c8. And there are also maybe other wins, but yeah, this is a tactical blunder on my opponent's part. Okay, the game quality starts to become a bit lower on my side, but I guess that's to be expected. If I someday become a professional streamer, it could change. But for now, probably not. What's the most efficient way now? Queen h4 maybe? Queen h4. Probably. Just so after takes, there is this, and to force the queens off. Otherwise, today we have quite a lot of viewers, so shout out to everyone who is watching. I hope it's useful for you. I hope you will learn something from the course and the lines. The lines in it. Let's push the a-pawn down the board. Let's go rook c1 now to trade the pieces. Yeah, I mean, people are more interested in how the repertoire works against high-rated players. So, of course, now there will be more and more viewers, I expect, at least. But who knows? Okay, let's go sour. My opponent can try to flag me, but I think if I had 3 seconds, it would be enough. And with 17, I'll just say I'm quite sure I'll win, unless some connection problem happens. Am I a pro? Chess player? Yes. Streamer? No. I'm not a content creator, and I probably wouldn't be a good one full-time. But sometimes, I guess, people can still learn something from me. Queen c8, what if rook c8? gh4. Ah, gh4, there's rook c4 in the end, right? I didn't see that. Yeah, you're right. You're right. That's what I'm saying. My tactical awareness is becoming lower. But okay, the stream has been going on for the past almost 3 hours. So it's to be expected, I think. The viewers are always too strong. Again, to remind you, on the YouTube commands, you can find the first 5 parts of the speedrun. On the Chessable commands, you can find the course and buy it. The discount is only going to last for one or 2 more days, I'm not sure. Okay. Okay, against these hippos and all kinds of nonsense, we have always played in a sharp way, seizing as much space as we can. Let's go rook e1, maybe e5. I should play at some point. Or let's just go, let's finish the development first with b3, bishop b2, and then we'll see whether to play d5, e5, or something else. Okay, let's finish the development first, then we'll be ready to open up. For any opening of the position, we will be more than ready. Let's go h4, seize a bit more space, why not? Now I'm gonna go h5 first to see what my opponent wants to do. If they go for g5, my intention was to go d5 actually, to block this diagonal, and if e5, then to go either bishop a3 or g4, stopping this counterplay, and then there will be no more counterplay at all from black. And if he doesn't do that, then I get the d4 square for the knight, and I will attack this pawn several more times. So this was my strategy here. Takes, for example, I mean, still the counterplay will be nicely restricted. And this is what I meant with knight d4. So let's go here. The h5 pawn is not so... there's e5. Yeah, my tactical sharpness, like, just don't see things. Should have taken first and then gone knight d4, and it was much better for me. Yeah, queen c8 first, and then you looked again. Don't trust me, guys. Don't trust me. I'm blundering stuff. Okay, I'm still not worse. I'm pretty sure about that. But yeah, absolutely. Should have absolutely done a better job here. Okay, what do I do now? Do I take and go f4? Rook e8 takes here. I mean, this knight blockade is very nice, so I just want to get rid of it. His pieces are still out of play quite a bit. If I can get in f6, I meant I'm... like, I won't say winning, but the position should be very good, no? Or do I take first? Okay, I'll go f6. I don't care about this pawn. Go rook e7 or something. Just open all of these pieces. It would be ideal if I could do this, but after queen f5 there is bishop c8 or queen c8, which my opponent did know. Yeah, I probably overestimated my position. But still, everything that happened in the last few moves has been very welcome sight. Bishop here. Queen f8 then. Queen d8, sorry. Okay, I'll have to defend this first then. And now I'll play, I guess, rook f2. Or rook f5. Rook f2. Let's go rook f5 and take, I guess. It was not ideally played by me. There might have been some win, but I also need to be careful about time and everything. Where do I click for money to buy the course? In your pocket. I mean, the course works against players from 800 to players like Firouzja. I've proven that. So I think it's a worthy investment. Is bishop h3 a threat now? Should be. Bishop h3, and then queen d8, queen e7. Bishop h3 works, right? Takes. This is mate, and queen d8. Yeah, this should work, I think. Queen d8, there is queen e7. This one Am I blundering something? No, I'm not. But queen d8, queen e7, queen e7, d7 would leave the c8 bishop hanging in the end, and it was also lost for my opponent. Okay. Not the greatest, but the win is a win. Hello, Biden for President 1994. Is it enough to get clickable version if I'm 2000 player online? I don't think so. There are many sharp lines, and many. It's a lifetime repertoire. It's 1d6 against everything, every single move. So I don't think it's enough, but you can try. You can try to get short and sweet and see how that works. The short and sweet is, of course, available as well. Yeah, you can struggle in classical if you don't know theory. That's always the case. In classical, especially in classical where people prepare. Alright. I think after 2250 I will stop for now, and then maybe come back in the evening. Maybe not, we'll see. But from 2000, I think we had quite a good run today. Also, I have not lost a lot of games, probably because I speeded up. Yeah, I'm not sure if you need Pro for short and sweet. I'm not sure. You need to check it out on Chessable. You have the Chessable command, which will lead you there. Hello to Epson SJ. Am I playing Title Tuesday? No, I stopped playing competitively and closed my Chess.com accounts a year ago. But now, maybe I should start playing again, because simply I've heard that there are some proctoring and there's some better anti-cheating in Title Tuesday. So maybe I'll come back again in some time, but for now we need to reach 3000 in this speedrun. So what's the problem with not finding opponents? Is it like nobody's there, or is it just some lag or something? Chessable locked? Oh, okay, I'm not sure. Maybe the problem is this. I should put the opponents lower rated, but I'm not getting paired. Why am I not getting paired? Who knows? At least now I can talk to the chat a bit more. Can we have a match really quick? No, sorry, I'm playing the speedrun. Okay, finally. I'm not playing the viewers, but there are many streamers who are doing that. Yeah, you can go into the pool if you'd like. Let's go knight d2 now. And now we will play again this setup with double fianchetto, which we're suggesting against the London and against this as well with, now we go e4, h3 first. Now we'll put the queen on e1. On e2 it's also fine, but on e1, first of all, we're threatening e5. Okay, let's think outside of the box. So bishop takes d4. And I win a piece. As far as I can see, of course. Maybe I'm blundering something, but... Okay, I'll call this an opening success. Hello, the One Prophet 420. Am I studying? No, I used to go to university and I was studying chemistry before, but I quit and became a professional chess player instead. I didn't have the GM title at that time. I always regretted it a bit because I really like chemistry, but you have to make choices in life. That's just a fact. And yeah, I didn't regret my decision until now. Here we'll take on f6, and okay, what's the easiest way to win this? I mean, everything is easy, but maybe queen e5, right? Queen e5 will get rid of the material We'll get rid of the material immediately, and then it should be a bit easier. Good. So the game shows very nicely the plans here. With no matter if the bishop is here or here, when you see space with e4. Now e5 is a threat, for example, and also, for example, if my opponent goes some e5, then I can go knight h4, knight f5, or even g4. Also, after this, I could have taken maybe twice and then go g4 and f4 and f5. It was also very good. Simply, this bishop is just out of play, and you enjoy a great position. That's why this is so uncomfortable for people to meet with both white and black, especially with white when I'm tempo up compared to the black. I stopped playing competitively online on chess.com. It was bringing me a lot of negative emotions. But I'm playing over the board. I just, like, the speedrun was delayed for a few days because I was playing the German Bundesliga this weekend. So I'm still playing a lot, don't worry. But online, no. Okay, another chance to get this. Okay, 92. What was with 92? Is this move covered? I'll have to check if this move is covered. Knight f3 or f4 were the two main moves. Maybe we didn't cover this, I don't remember. But I remember from one other chapter that it can transpose to this with g6, bishop g7. So it probably cannot be all that bad. And now, I guess I can try... Okay, I will castle first. I'm not afraid of this opening up of the position too much. The center looks nice, but it can also be vulnerable. I'll try to prove that now. This pin is a bit annoying. Let me try to include this first. Now I'll go for c5. If takes, I'll take with the knight. If takes here again. If t5, then I'm gonna go c4 again, or at least that's what I planned. And after takes, and this is the downside of including. I was not supposed to include h6, but yeah, I'm not in a great mood. I don't see things because now there's bishop f2. Had I played, if the bishop stayed here, then I would go queen b6, knight e4, and win the game immediately. So very, very like bad from me. There's just no other word. Very bad from me. Now I'm gonna have to settle for the pawn. Then after knight d2, go knight g4, I suppose. Rook b1, queen a3. I mean, I don't think the queen can get trapped, and I'll get this bishop, so I still think I'm not worse, but the game could have been over already, I think, at least. Okay. Is it good to play Alyachin in a classical tournament? Let's just say it like this. I tried it once. I was an IM, I drew against 2300, I was lost for the whole game. I never tried it again. I mean, knight c4 is very annoying. So I'll have to go queen back first. But still, without the dark squared bishop, I think my opponent's attack is not going anywhere, honestly. If you don't expect targeted prep, maybe. I don't think so. I would not suggest it. There are many other better openings. Let's go a5, try to go a4. Maybe go this way. I'm not sure if this is wise or not, but at least it will not allow my opponent to double the rooks because of this pin. I guess my opponent is starting to play for my time. We will see if that will help him or not. I wanted to go the other way, but now I'll go this way, just to attack multiple things I wanted to say. if you're under 2000, yeah, maybe it will be fine, but I still wouldn't do it. Still wouldn't do it. There's queen g3 so I cannot take this one. There's also queen c3, but queen c3 now I think I can take. If rook takes e4, with multiple threads remaining on the board. So yeah, I should be able to win this 28 seconds. I just don't think they can flag me if I have that much time. But who knows? Stranger things have happened. Let's go here. Take this. Yeah, d6 is definitely better than Eliachin. From my personal experience playing classical chess against GMs, it's much better. So, I'm not lying to you or something. Everything I say, I have proven already in my own classical games. I tried to make a move while looking at the chat. I played bishop e5 instead of bishop f6, which I intended. Yeah, I missed this comment. So yeah, the course is, that's the point of the course. You have core lines, it's very easy to learn it, much easier than other lifetime repertoires. Much easier. And I mean, I'm using it against GMs, so I'm sure you can use it very nicely against IMs or anyone else. No, it's not. Like, okay, it's not necessarily equal. Sometimes white is a bit better, but you get fighting positions and one mistake can win you the game. And also, your opponents will never be studying 1d6. They will be studying all kinds of neithers, e5s, mainline openings, and they will know theory until move 20, and here they will not know anything. So, yeah, they will have a line after the course now. Do you use a move train or repetition? I'm not using Chessable to learn openings because I make openings. Have people use your course to prepare against you? I mean, it was published and it was a risk on the Bundesliga, but they didn't do it. So, I'm a bit curious about the opening here. Mostly I'm not analyzing because it's quite clear, but this one, yeah, I think g6 we play and we transpose to the chapter, yeah, to the other chapter. Okay. This position, by the way, you should not be afraid of something like f5, then you immediately will play either c5 or d5. The engine prefers d5. I actually intended c5 and this, which now the engine agrees it's also fine. So it's not h6 I was not supposed to do. I was supposed to go here and then it would be immediately winning because there was no bishop f2 and now I would be able to take and the position falls apart. I play, of course, an inaccuracy h6 and now, while it's still good, now it's not winning. And now I had to struggle and fight on for like, the whole game. Okay, 2260. Okay, you know what, guys? Let's push it to 2300 today. We have a lot of viewers, the chat is having fun. I think we can do it now. You won't mind sticking around for a bit longer, I guess. Is d6 stronger significantly from 3m? What is 3m? Yeah, white should not take c4, but then you get the knight to c5 and the bishop stays passive on c2. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with chess.com. Maybe there are, like, I even put like -100 that there are no openings. Opponents, not openings. The big three, like, d6 against c4, it's probably objectively best and equal. And then against d4 and d4, there are certain lines where white is going to be a bit better, but if you know the structures and the rule and the lines in them, you can play it competitively on GM level all the time, like all the time. Okay, you know what, guys? I'm gonna end the stream because there seems to be something either with the stream or chess.com. So yeah, I'll find someone to raid you to, and then we're gonna end the stream. I'm not sure if I'll be back today. Or tomorrow, but this part will be on YouTube today. That's for sure. So thanks everyone for watching. Have a great rest of the day, and I will see you in the next part of our speedrun on our way to 3000. Have a great rest of the day, and we're going to raid Hannah Seiss, who I don't know personally, but I've seen her in Stockholm on the Relton Cup some time ago. Okay, bye bye.